$187,000 he's paid a contractor. And yes, he's already been paid. Let me show you what she's getting for $187,000. All right, guys, so here's the story. The client bought this house, they moved in, and the house caught on fire and burned. So they hired a contractor to come in and rebuild the house, and that's where they are right now. They're literally living in the backyard in an RV right now. And their contractor is taking off on vacation for 6 weeks. Yep, he's been paid in full $187,500. Almost 190 grand. And let me show you the work that they're getting. For $187,000, I can see where they wouldn't be able to afford to actually put a proper storm cover over the exterior outlet. Hey, but at least it's GFCI protected, right? You have no splash guard at the valley, which means water is going to just dump right off the edge of that. For here, again, no splash guard. At this valley, you have way too long of a run. There should be a downspout there or a downspout there, but these gutters are pitched improperly. So you got this big long gutter that runs all the way around that is perfectly level. It's supposed to slope towards the downspout. This one does not. And the one thing that I'm noticing about this roof, this is a brand new roof. They literally rebuilt this house. I don't know why there is so much buckling. Do you see how up here there's like a peak right here? It's like there's a big speed bump in the roof across there, and it is like that all over the roof. So this is brand new. Everything's brand new. Look at the drip edge flashing. It looks like it got ran over by an army tank. You come down here, it's hanging off, it's inadequately fastened. There's a giant chunk missing out of it. I could be nitpicky. You've got excessive overhang of the shingles. There's no diverter or sidewall flashing on that side. Around here to this brand new roof, and you're gonna notice right there, you got that shingle sticking up right there, right? That's because there's like a divot in the roof. And then you come across here and you could see a notable line all the way up, and the roof decking comes down at a slant, and you've got buckling in the shingles all the way up. And this is a brand new roof. Now, brand new. What do you got over here? Inadequate reveal. You've got the J channel sitting right on top of the shingles. There's supposed to be an 1.75 or 2 inch gap, and you should be able to see step flashing and counter flashing. And we're not going to be able to see any of that because they just put the J channel right against the shingles. And again, right here at this corner, when they don't put the diverter flashing in the corner, water will run right past that gutter, right down here under their brand new deck, and then everybody's going to die. They're not going to die, but it's really bad workmanship. When you've got a brand new roof and you've already got curling and cupping and your ridge cap isn't fastened and it looks like a roller coaster ride, this is brand spanking new.
52 is what he has.
$52,000 for this roof?
That's what he says right here on this paper.
$52,000 for this roof. Wow. Okay. Well, they could have at least finished it. You're missing shingles up here. I'm up on this roof. I'm going to show you some stuff right now that is really, really poor workmanship. Now, from up here on the roof, I can see here that the shingles were installed improperly. You could surf on that ridge cap. Then you come over here, and I guess they just ran out of shingles because that ridge vent has no shingles on it at all. But you can see here, there's no fasteners in these shingles. When you pay a contractor $187,000 and you end up having to live in an RV in your backyard, that is not a good situation. Question. When they built this house, did anybody talk to you about your chimney at all?
No.
They didn't mention to you that they would be building the roof in such a way that your chimney would no longer be safe or meet code. Nobody said that to you. If anybody told her that her chimney, now that they actually built this new vaulted ceiling and everything, that the chimney no longer meets the 3-2-10 rule. Chimneys are supposed to stick up high enough. They're supposed to be a minimum of 3 feet and 2 feet higher than anything within 10 feet. That does not meet code. That does not meet minimum standards. Okay, so for $52,000 for this crappy roof, you think they could have at least flashed the chimney? That's the flashing that they used, which is a caulking, which never should be relied upon for a permanent seal for all the reasons that you are seeing right now. That's why you don't use sealant as chimney flashing. Do you have anything in writing where he said he would remove mold for
It's
$2,500?
in that contract. It says mold removal $2,500. My son was in his trailer, his like dump trailer, and he pulled out like the spray shit that you used.
All right, so here's the thing, and then in the state of New York, you can't remediate mold without being an ELAP certified mold remediation contractor. You have to be a licensed. The benefits of the homeowner being here, we can cut a hole in the floor because I so badly want to see the floor structure because I am confident we are going to find some janky things under there. Pulled up the subfloor. We have black mold underneath the brand new subfloor. And for legal purposes, it's a black mold-like substance that could possibly be mold, but is probably almost definitely mold. But you can see this subfloor is sopping wet. They put OSB over wet subfloor, and you're gonna say, Preston, how do you know it's wet? Oh, I don't know, I got this magic thing here that tells me that this is all sopping wet. Even the brand new OSB that they installed. So I'm looking down here in this crawl space. I knew I was gonna find janky stuff. Under here, and you can see where they were just throwing all their trash under here, which is always the mark of a good contractor when they do that. But what do I see under here? I see a floor support, floor structure made out of 2x4s touching the ground. Like none of that is right. And then over here, the good old shark bite. To shoot upside down, but if you look over there, you are going to see lots of mold all over everything. And right here, they didn't even bother to use a 2x4. That's a 2x4 oriented the wrong direction to a 2x2 holding it up, jabbed into the ground. Oh yeah, there's lots of mold under here. And the good old temporary columns. Where are you at right now? Where's everything standing? He's going on vacation?
He's leaving at the end of the month, July 29th, to go to Europe for 6 weeks.
Which is where he's from. So I don't know if he's even coming back.
Well, let's hope. What's his name?
Avdo Musnik.
Avdo Musnik?
M-U-J-C-I-C.
So let's see if Avdo is actually a licensed ELAP mold remediator in New York, because if he isn't and he's doing mold remediation, he's got himself a little bit of a problem. All right, let's see what kitchen cabinets, basin walls, let's see what $8,000 gets you. All right, so I see this cabinet right here, and the very first thing I noticed is the masterful work with the screws right through the flange on the bottom. Very nice. But this gets way worse. For $8,000, what you get is a screw buried so far into that one that it's damaged, but then you come over here and the cabinet is just damaged, and you can see they kind of tried to glue and tape that back on. But here's the chef's kiss.
Excuse me.
What's going on in the kitchen?
So there's supposed to be cabinets right here and an island that he didn't put in. And then when we said something to him about it, he told me that I had to pay out of my pocket for him to put that back in. But per his contract, which is also bullshit, says anything that I have taken out of the house, I will replace. Now these countertops and my sink are not this bullshit. They were tiled counters, and the sink that I had was super deep and wicked nice. And he just put this apartment shit in here.
But he only charged you $8,000.
I know.
So I don't know what you're expecting. I mean, you actually expected to have a countertop and.
I know. I should be very grateful.
Okay,
Just all the ceiling.
Sure, that
and
scene
shit.
looks terrible, but let's talk about.
Yeah.
They ran the corner of it over with an army tank. The amazing countertops that are, I don't know, a 1/4 inch thick are completely damaged. But as you run over here, this is their workmanship. At this ceiling line. Woo, whoa, hey, whoa, getting all out of whack. That's a DUI in progress. For $187,000, I would expect somebody to actually touch my wall with sandpaper before painting it. Check this out. La la la, so far so good, but let's check it out over here. Let's see their masterful drywall job. Oh yeah, look, what was that, a patch job? Looks like there was a giant hole in the wall that they just patched right there. There we go. Twin Peaks. Were they having a seizure when they installed the drywall? What do we have here? More masterful drywall work. That is beautiful. Beautiful. All right, but for $8,000, when they put the kitchen sink in, does anybody tell Avdo that S-traps don't meet code? That's a code violation. No, for $187,000, would you expect your thermostat to be mounted straight, level, and plumb? That's how crooked it is. Let's go in here and check out the awesome custom bathroom that he did. Look at this nice jacuzzi tub. Man, that is beautiful. Gee, I wonder if... That's a big bunch of nope. $187,000. You don't actually want your tub mounted securely, do you? What about your faucet? Oh, that is beautiful. For $187,000, you can't expect your tile not to be cracked. I don't know about you guys, but for 187 grand, I would expect at least one handrail. I could be nitpicky here, but riser heights are supposed to be uniform all the way up. In the interest of protecting the drunk and the sleepy, you are not supposed to have a 4-inch step at the very top going down to what looks to be about an 8-inch rise. And the stair treads are amazing. Nothing to see there. This is a good part of it right here. You see this door? All right, the trim looks nice and flush at the top. We got an inch gap at the bottom, right there. And it goes up, and it is flush at the top. So now we're gonna give Avdo a phone call, and we're gonna see what he has to say about this amazing workmanship. I happened to mention that he charged $187,000 for this job. I don't know if I said that or not. So you just found that Avdo apparently may be a member of the Shenango County Fire Department?
Yep, him and his brother back in, it was like 2018, got approved to be members of the Shenango Fire Department.
So we've got a situation where the contractor that's fixing a house that caught on fire did work to the house that could actually catch it on fire again. But good news, he's a member of the fire department.
Hello?
Hi, is this Avdo?
Yes.
Hey, Avdo.